Yo, what is going on, everybody? Shri Kanase here. So what literally nobody tells you about Google Ads. Now, Google Ads have become one of the most talked about topics in 2021 simply because a lot of people are transitioning from using Facebook due to Facebook bans, Facebook account limitations and whatnot, to using Google Ads. And not just these people, a lot of new dropshippers are actually finding it much easier and much more simple to use Google Ads. There are several reasons why a person who is dropshipping currently would want to use Google Ads. Some include more long-term sustainability, a little bit easier to start running ads once you get the ad account actually approved, because nowadays even getting the Merchant Center account approved with Google is a big hassle of its own. But once you get those things done, Google Ads is definitely a more preferred platform for 2021 and onwards. But there are some things which actually a lot of people, including myself, may have not told you when it comes to Google Ads. So make sure to watch this video until the end, because there are a few things which you absolutely must know if you already use Google or if you plan to use Google in the near future. But let's just get right into it. The first thing that I'll have to tell you regarding this video is that you'll have to smash the like button down below until it turns blue so that you can actually benefit from videos like these. Smashing that like button definitely helps out this channel and helps me put out more videos for you guys. Okay, hopefully I finished smashing the like button. But exactly what do so-called Shopify gurus, Shopify mentors, whatever you want to call them, not tell you about Google Ads? The first thing that I want to start talking about is the fluctuations. There are a few things which you should definitely know regarding fluctuations. Now, what exactly is a fluctuation? A fluctuation is basically the ups and downs that you face when running ads. That means the changing of your sales. One day you could get $500 in sales, the next day you could get $5,000. It all depends on a wide variety of factors. And if you already use Facebook, you already know what these fluctuations are because you face them on a daily basis with Facebook. I know I did it when I used to heavily use Facebook ads. However, the thing is, fluctuations do not go away regardless of what advertising platform you use, because simply put, every day is a different day with ads. Your audience is not going to interact the same way with your ads every single day, because if that were to happen, you would be skyrocketing your business every single day, and every single day your ads would be providing you more and more sales. Obviously, in the real world, that does not happen. One day you could be very, very profitable. The next day you could be in a loss. But this is one thing that bothers a lot of people, including myself, and it does take a little bit of time to actually come to understand why fluctuations happen and how to even deal with them both mentally and also money-wise. But with Google Ads, one thing you don't really hear often is that there are definitely fluctuations, even though a lot of people don't really make it seem that there are fluctuations. This is, after all, an advertising platform which is based on search volume. Every day the searches are going to be different. You can't expect 500 or 1,000 people, for example, to search up the keyword 3D printer and have the same amount of customers every single day, simply because today only 500 may have searched for that keyword, tomorrow only maybe 20 people search for it. And with this change of search volume comes a change in the amount of sales that you do on a daily basis. So it's really important that you know that regardless of what advertising platform you use, and in this case with Google, you are going to be facing fluctuations every single day. You should definitely not pay attention to your ads and your store's performance on a daily basis. That's why I always say make changes on your advertising campaigns every 7 to 14 days. But that also means look at the data for the past 7 to 14 days before making any types of judgments or decisions. Do not base your decisions on a daily basis. One way to kind of battle this is to just have a high number of products, because with every different product, there's going to be a different amount of search volume done within a given day. So if you have a lot of different products on your store, that's simply going to make it easy for you to stay a little bit more consistent on a daily basis. And even with this, guaranteed sustainability and guaranteed consistency is just not possible with any advertising platform. You're still gonna get days where you're heavily in the green and some days where you're heavily in the red. But large number of products definitely helps with Google, because again, every product is going to get searched a different amount. So if product number 1 only gets searched 50 times today, but product number 2 gets searched 50,000 times, you can expect to make a good amount of sales if you do everything right, that is, with product number 2. However, tomorrow product number 2 may only get 300 searches, but product number 1 on the other hand may get 10,000. So as you can see, these product searches alternate heavily, and because of that, the sale volume also alternates heavily. But definitely having a high number of products on your store by using the techniques I mentioned in my videos is gonna definitely help. But this brings me to the next point on the list, and that is small campaign changes make a very big impact on your ads. So one thing with Facebook is that if you want to scale a product or you want to scale a given ad set, you simply make duplicates of it, or you put them in a CBO and run the CBO itself instead of actually touching the original ad set, because you don't want to ruin the optimization. Same thing is true with Google. However, constantly scaling via a new campaign is not really the ideal way to go in 2021, because scaling campaigns don't normally really work that well nowadays in my own experience with Google Ads. And any type of other changes that you make to the campaign itself in order to actually scale that given campaign, such as product exclusions, bid changes, budget changes, or even making account level changes, such as changing the bid strategy on the entire Google Ads account, can make a big impact on the Google Ads campaigns. A lot of people aren't really aware of this, or maybe they're not told by other YouTubers, but this plays a big role in how your ads perform. A lot of people think that just making an account level change is not going to impact the individual campaign, so they make the account level change and then they proceed to make a campaign level changes as well the very next day. All this does with this constant changes is that it ruins the campaign's optimization. Every time you make a change on your campaign, it basically puts it into reset mode, and that means it has to start from the beginning, start optimizing from the beginning. Of course, if your campaign already has a lot of data, this reset mode is not going to significantly impact the campaign, meaning you won't go from doing 100 sales a day to 0 sales a day overnight. However, it can maybe change the 100 sales to maybe 50, 40, even 30 for a few days until it gets back to normal, and that is why you always want to give it a certain time period to kind of get back on its feet. So be aware that small campaign changes, small account level changes make a big impact on your campaigns, and don't start to worry or become anxious if a specific change that you made completely re-optimizes the campaign and the very next day or the next few days you're not really making the same amount of sales, you're not getting the same desired results. Just give it a few days, because Google, after all, is a search-based platform. It requires time to actually get back in working order. But this brings me to the third point, which people don't really tell you about Google Ads, and that is scaling isn't always as straightforward. Now, we already kind of mentioned this previously, but this is definitely one of the faults that I'm finding with Google Ads in 2021 and onwards. Now, hold on, before you exit out of this video thinking that Google Ads is not a scalable platform, you can't even use it to go past a certain number of sales every single day, hear me out, because I've done plenty of $10,000 days with Google. There are certain steps that you need to take in order to scale via Google, but single ad group campaigns, meaning single product campaigns, are definitely not one of the recommended ways to scale in 2021 and onwards. Of course, this is with my own personal experience. If single product campaigns work great for you, go ahead and create more of them for more of your products so you can scale. Every ad account is different. Something that works for me may not always work for you, but you can generally try to scale Google campaigns by increasing the budget of the original campaign. So if you have a shopping campaign with all of your products, just increase the budget of that individual campaign every few days so that Google actually spends money on the entire campaign more and more. But in addition, if there's a winning product or there are several winning products in your campaign, Google can also start allocating a bigger budget to those products. That is one great way to scale those products. But in addition, you can also start using search campaigns to scale your products. Something that I like to use is called SKAGs, which means single keyword ad group campaigns. Basically a single product campaign, but search campaign instead of a shopping campaign. And I have a whole tutorial on this which you guys can check out. I'll leave the link in the description below. But SKAGs is definitely another way to scale heavily with Google Ads. But just remember that scaling is not always as straightforward with Google as it is with Facebook, because with Facebook there are only a few strategies which you can really use. And if those work great, if those don't work, then you know that that product really isn't as big of a scalable product as you thought. So maybe you can test different products. With Google, you're already testing a bunch of different products. So in order to scale them, you have a few options which you can try implementing. But of course, just focusing on the ads is not enough for Google, because with Google, there is something called A/B testing, which you have to heavily rely on. Now, exactly what is A/B testing? So A/B testing is when you test one thing against another. If you have a red add to cart button, you may want to test that against a blue add to cart button for a few number of days and see what kind of results that gets you. This is one thing a lot of people don't really tell you about Google Ads, and that is A/B testing is an absolute must to find real winners. Now, a winning product with Google may be one that's selling a few every single day, getting you a good amount of profit every single day. But a real winner is a winner that you can consistently scale upwards and reach the maximum number of audience possible for those keywords related to that product and get sales at a high conversion rate. So with a real winning product, there are several things you'll have to do in order to even find these kinds of winners. The number one thing is, first of all, you have to actually find something that sells. There is no way around that. Find a winning product first. You can watch some of my videos to find those winners. Once you find them, then you start the A/B testing method to actually find real winners. With A/B testing, you can test between different product images, between different product pricing, and between different SEO keywords within the titles. Remember, titles is one of the most important things you can do right for your product. So if you test between different product titles, that is one way to know when you have a real winner, because a real winning title will consistently get you more and more sales. It will also help you rank for more keywords, so you get more impressions as a result. But this A/B testing method is highly recommended and is something that you have to do in order to turn that semi-winner into a real winning product, because once you test all of these things, you'll know which kind of product images get you the highest CTR, which kind of product pricing gets you the most amount of profits while not decreasing the sales, and which SEO keywords help you get more impressions. All these three things combined will lead you towards those real winners. And this is something not a lot of people will tell you about Google Ads, but A/B testing is an absolute must. It may not be as important with Facebook, but with Google, you absolutely have to do it in order to find consistent results. But this brings me to the final point on the list, and that is having a real diverse product selection. Now, a lot of people think that having niche stores is the right way to go, or maybe having a one product store is a right way to go with Shopify, but is that really the truth when it comes to using Google Ads only? In my experience and opinion, I do not think niche stores or one product stores is the best option to go right from the beginning, at least. And this is simply because with a niche store or with a one product store, you're already limiting your product selection. So if your entire niche has only a search volume of 50,000 max, that is the highest number of customers you can possibly reach to get those sales. You cannot reach 100,000 customers within that niche, because as a whole, there is only 50,000 worth of search volume and search impressions done for the keywords related to that niche. And if you started this way from the beginning, if you maybe started with only one product, you already limited your own success that you could get with Google. So what is the best way to go with this? In 2021 and onwards, I still recommend having a general store as the way to go. Instead of dropshipping from AliExpress, you can use eBay or you can use other AliExpress US suppliers to get the products to your customers. I do not recommend just using those Chinese suppliers to go about with your dropshipping store in 2021 and onwards, because that is going to make it extremely difficult for you to even get accepted to the Merchant Center account. But this is one thing a lot of people won't tell you. A lot of people do still recommend niche stores and one product stores. There is nothing wrong with them, but only go into them once you fully know that there is heavy demand for that niche, there is heavy demand for that one product. Because if there's not enough demand, it doesn't matter what kind of price you sell it for. It doesn't matter what SEO keywords you use, what kind of descriptions you use. You're going to have very limited success. You may find sales here and there, but you will not be able to really scale that to the moon and get to where you want. So in the beginning, always go with general stores and then maybe narrow down into a niche once you find a winning niche. But these are a few things which nobody really tells you about Google Ads. If you keep these in mind when running your Google shopping campaigns or your Google search campaigns, and of course, you watch some of my videos and use those techniques as well, you will find long-term consistent results with Google Ads. But if you're looking for more one-on-one help, make sure to reach out to me on Instagram. Just DM me for more info on my one-on-one mentoring, which I offer related to Google Ads. I take on new students every single month, and a lot of success stories do come out from that. But definitely reach out to me with a quick message on Instagram if you're interested in that. But if you found any type of value in this video, smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.